Hey guys, now you can follow me on Facebook. Just go to facebook.com/UltraMaximusReviews. Hello YouTube, Ultra Maximus back with another toy review on Triple Force Friday. Now, at the time of this recording, it's about 12:30 a.m. on Friday. Of course, it is Force Friday. They have dropped all the merchandise for The Rise of Skywalker, the new Jedi video game, and The Mandalorian. And I went over to my local Walmart to pick the figures up at midnight, and there was zero fanfare. It was really kind of sad. They only had 8 of the Black Series figures, which is really, really pitiful. I was able to get the 2 figures I wanted the most, which was the Sith Trooper and the Mandalorian. And I found this off-world Jawa, which just looked really neat. It's the only one they had. So I went ahead and picked him up. They did have the Jedi from the new video game, but they only had one, and somebody else picked him up. He was after him, so that was cool. They also had a bunch of 3 3/4 inch figures. They had a Knight of Ren, which is interesting, but they only had the one. Somebody else picked that one up. They also had Jabba's Palace for the 3 3/4 inch. They had the magnetic Carbonite Solo, which was cool. They had 2 of those, and one guy actually offered to let me buy it, but I'm like, no man, you didn't get anything, go ahead and pick that up. And then they had the gold Saga, Skywalker Saga 3 3/4 inch figures, and I thought about picking up some of those, but I passed. That's really about it. It was really, really kind of sad, and I'm kind of feeling this is probably the last Force Friday, which is unfortunate. But yeah, this Jawa here looks kind of interesting. So let's go ahead and take a look at the packaging. So here we have the off-world Jawa in the packaging, and it's kind of interesting. I don't know, there was something about it. I picked it up. I was looking at it, I almost passed, and something about the gray cloak just kind of caught my attention, and I figured I'd go ahead and get him because I kind of like the Jawas. Now, I do have one of the Jawas on a vintage card. I have yet to review, but it looks pretty much about the same. It's got the same white packaging we have with the other Force Friday figures. Unlike the black packaging, it's got the first edition piece right here, which I'm guessing is the Force Friday wave of figures. I have seen some pictures online with these characters in the black box, but I've yet to actually see any. And then, of course, it says Black Series. It's an off-world Jawa, so I'm presuming that we're going to see this version of the Jawa on a different planet, which is interesting because we've seen Jawas in the other films off-planet, most notably. Well, I guess it wasn't off-planet because it was on Tatooine in Jabba's palace, wasn't it? So I'm not really sure if we have seen a Jawa on a different planet. If you know for sure, leave a comment down below. I'm kind of interested in knowing that. But side of the package here, he is number 96 in the wave, and then it says off-world Jawa, but it only says Jawa. It doesn't say off-world Jawa. It's kind of interesting. But here's a close-up right there. First edition. There he is in his great outfit. Kind of reminds me of X-Force for some reason. And then he's number 96. And then side of the package, it says off-world Jawa Utini right down there. So that's kind of cool. Back of the package here. Again, kind of a very brief description of the Jawas. Saying basically that with ships coming in and out of Tatooine, they leave their desert environment and go to other planets and continue their habits of basically hunting down droids and technology. And then we get a picture of the Jawa here, but it kind of looks like, what was her name? Shadowcaster from She-Ra, Princess of Power? Which is a bit funny. So yeah, here is the bio. If you want to pause and read that, you are more than welcome to. And then here is the artwork on the back of the box. Looking cool. Definitely digging that. And well, that's pretty much it for the packaging. Let's go ahead and get the off-world Jawa out of box and see what we think. So here we have the off-world Jawa out of the packaging, and this little guy is very, very cool. I like the combination of the vinyl parts on the figure along with the actual cloth robe. I think that's very cool. He comes with 2 weapons. He's got this nice kind of black-washed silver gun. Again, kind of older looking, which, I mean, a Jawa, I guess that should be right. So yeah, there's that. I love the finish on it. Looks very nice. Very steampunk, so that's kind of cool. And then, of course, on his back here, he's got, getting camera there, he's got his little zap gun that they use to get the droids. It pulls out like that, and then there it is. That's very cool. The one thing about this, though, I would be careful with it. When you plug it in, I could see this breaking very, very easily, so be aware of that. The hood is a vinyl, which is cool. Very bright red eyes. I definitely dig that. I kind of wish he had some light piping like the old Power of the Force toys, but it is what it is. The head moves back and forth. It really doesn't move up or down at all, which is a bit of a shame. He's got a diaphragm joint in his body there. His arms kick up that far. You can also see he's got some sculpt work there underneath that, which is nice. He's got a single joint elbow that twists just like the larger figures. The hands have a spin, and they've got a hinge, but it's so small I'm afraid I'm going to break him, so I don't really move them. If you lift up his skirt, you can see, oh, there you go, you can see his pants, and then his legs kick up really, really far. They don't kick back at all. They go out, if I can get it to focus again. There we go. They go out that far. He's got single jointed knees that don't really bend much at all. And then he's got hinges on his feet, which is cool. And he's got that crazy ankle rocker pivot we love! With this being his widest possible stance with both feet still flat on the floor. So taking a closer look at the off-world Jawa, I love this little guy. I'm glad I picked him up. I love the vinyl sculpt on his hood there. The brilliant red eyes on the black face, very nice. His belt looks good with the little paint apps on the buttons. Love this kind of black washed gun he's got going on there. The cloak, the cloth cloak is very cool. I'm definitely digging that. And then we've got the belt kind of hangs over the back, and there's paint apps on the back of the belt, which is nice. They don't always do that with a lot of figures, so that's definitely very cool. There's something about the gray I'm liking better than the brown, and I'm hoping he's not just a background character, but makes an actual cameo in the movie. I think it'll be a lot of fun. And finally, taking a look at the bottom half of the figure here. Again, love this cloth cape, how it goes down to the ground, as it should with a Jawa, his little black hand there. Definitely very cool. There is a lot of detail underneath with his legs that you don't see too terribly much because of the cloth, but you can kind of move it out of the way like we see here. And there's some nice paint detail and apps in there as well. Very cool. The fact he's got his other gun kind of slung under the side there with the paint apps definitely looks cool. Be careful about that though, because I feel like that could break pretty easy. It's kind of thin, so yeah, I mean, it is what it is. For comparison, here we have the off-world Jawa with his wavemate, the Sith Trooper, and I love the contrast on these characters. We get the very drab and gray Jawa next to the very vibrant red Sith Trooper. And I don't know, I imagine the off-world Jawa in some kind of cityscape and the Sith Trooper telling him to move along. Or force choking him, or force pushing him, or something. I don't know, but I really hope to see these two characters interact, but it probably won't happen. So is the off-world Jawa from Star Wars Rise of Skywalker something you want in your Star Wars collection? Well, if you're collecting all the new movie stuff, this might be something that you're after. If you're a Jawa completist, I think you're going to want it. First time we've seen him in the gray deco, which is very, very cool. Makes me want to see other cloaks out there, like blacks, or we got brown, but blacks, maybe purples or reds. That would be kind of fun. But definitely digging the color scheme. I think it works. I don't know where this character is going to appear in the movie, or if it's going to be a background character, or maybe have more of an appearance like in the original 77 film, but I'm definitely digging it. So there it is, the Off-World Jawa for Triple Force Friday.
Hey guys, thanks for watching. If you like this video, thumbs it up. If you hate this video, thumbs it down. To watch more Ultra Maximus, click on the links to the right. Don't forget to subscribe and share, like us on Facebook, and look for more videos in the future.